Somewhere after 60, many people start noticing small changes. Getting up from a chair feels harder, energy disappears earlier in the day, memory isn't quite as sharp, and most people assume it's just aging. But what if some of those changes aren't actually caused by age? What if they're being caused by habits you've repeated for years without realizing the impact they're having on your body? Today, we're looking at 7 habits that quietly speed up physical decline after 60. And the surprising part? Most people think these habits are completely normal. In fact, the number one habit on today's list is something millions of seniors do every single morning within minutes of waking up. We'll get to that shortly, but first, let's start with number 7. Number 7, eating 3 large meals every day. For most of your life, you've probably followed the same routine: breakfast, lunch, dinner. 3 meals, nothing unusual. But after 60, your body doesn't process food the same way it did at 30 or 40. Digestion slows down, nutrient absorption becomes less efficient, and very large meals can leave you feeling tired instead of energized. That's why many healthy aging experts recommend shifting towards smaller, protein-rich meals spread throughout the day. Instead of overwhelming your digestive system all at once, you're giving your body a steady supply of energy. One woman in her 70s described it perfectly. She said she stopped feeling like she needed a nap after every meal. Her energy became more stable, her bloating improved, and she felt lighter throughout the day. The goal isn't eating more food, it's eating smarter, smaller portions, more protein, better timing. And once you understand that, the next habit becomes even more surprising, because it's something many people do every single day without ever questioning it. Number 6, taking long hot showers. And what happens inside your body during those long hot showers might surprise you. Number 6, taking long hot showers. Most people think a long hot shower is one of life's simple pleasures. It feels relaxing, it eases tension, and for many retirees, it's become part of a daily routine. But after 60, your body responds to hot water differently than it did years ago. As we age, our skin naturally becomes thinner and drier. The oils that once protected the skin aren't produced in the same amounts. That means long exposure to very hot water can strip away moisture much faster than most people realize. The result? Dry skin, itching, irritation, and sometimes even cracked skin that takes longer to heal. But the bigger issue isn't actually your skin, it's your balance. Hot water causes blood vessels to widen. When that happens, blood pressure can temporarily drop. A younger body adjusts quickly. An older body often takes longer. That's why some people feel lightheaded or dizzy after stepping out of a hot shower. And here's something worth remembering. Many falls happen inside the bathroom. Wet floors, hard surfaces, a sudden dizzy spell. That's a combination nobody wants. The good news is that you don't have to give up your shower. You just need to make a few small changes. Try using warm water instead of extremely hot water. Keep showers shorter when possible. And after drying off, apply a moisturizer while your skin is still slightly damp. It's a simple habit that can make a huge difference over time. Now let's move to the next habit, because this one might be costing people more strength and independence than almost anything else on today's list. Number 5. Avoiding strength training because your joints hurt. It sounds logical. If your knees hurt, rest them. If your hips ache, move less. But what if that approach is actually making the problem worse? That's exactly what we'll talk about next. Number 5. Avoiding strength training because your joints hurt. This is one of the biggest mistakes many adults make after 60, and honestly, it's an easy mistake to understand. If your knees hurt, you naturally want to rest. If your hips ache, you assume exercise will make things worse. So you move less, then a little less, and eventually, your activity level drops far below what your body actually needs. The problem is that your muscles and joints work together. When muscles become weaker, they stop supporting the joints properly. That means the joints end up carrying more stress, not less. In other words, avoiding movement often creates the exact problem people are trying to prevent. This is especially important because muscle loss speeds up with age. After 60, and especially after 70, the body naturally begins losing muscle mass every year unless it is challenged regularly. And muscle isn't just about strength. It's about balance. It's about stability. It's about being able to get up from a chair without struggling. It's about carrying groceries, climbing stairs, preventing falls, and maintaining independence. One man I spoke with in his early 80s had almost stopped walking because of knee discomfort. He assumed his active years were behind him. Instead of intense workouts, he started with simple chair exercises and light resistance bands just a few times per week. Nothing extreme, nothing painful, just consistent movement. A few months later, he was walking farther than he had in years. His balance improved, his confidence returned, and perhaps most surprisingly, his joint discomfort became easier to manage. That's because stronger muscles help protect the joints, not the other way around. If you're thinking about starting, keep it simple. A few resistance band exercises, chair squats, wall push-ups, even bodyweight movements can make a difference. The goal isn't to become a bodybuilder. The goal is to stay strong enough to live life on your terms. And speaking of staying strong, the next habit affects something many people worry about as they get older: their eyesight. Number 4, depending completely on reading glasses. Most people assume vision decline is just part of aging, but there may be more to the story than that. Number 4, depending completely on reading glasses. Most people think vision loss follows a simple path. You notice the words on a page becoming blurry. You buy reading glasses. A few years later, you need a stronger pair, then a stronger pair after that, and eventually, many people assume the decline is unavoidable. Now let's be clear, reading glasses are useful. For millions of people, they're necessary. But what many seniors don't realize is that vision isn't only about the eyes. It's also about the muscles that help your eyes focus and the brain that processes what you're seeing. Just like the rest of the body, these systems benefit from staying active. One of the biggest changes after 60 is that the lens inside the eye becomes less flexible. That makes it harder to switch focus between objects that are near and far away. Many people respond by relying on reading glasses for almost everything. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But some experts believe it's also important to continue challenging the visual system whenever possible. Simple habits can help. Looking across the room every few minutes while reading. Spending time outdoors where your eyes naturally focus at different distances. Keeping your eyes engaged instead of staring at one fixed point all day. There's another issue most people don't think about. After 70, the ability to see clearly in low light often decreases. That's one reason stairs, curbs, and objects on the floor become harder to notice. And it's one reason falls become more common. The solution isn't complicated. Improve lighting throughout your home. Use brighter bulbs in hallways and bathrooms. Install night lights where needed. And don't ignore regular eye exams. Many vision problems become much easier to manage when they're caught early. Nutrition matters too. Foods rich in vitamin A, lutein, zinc, and antioxidants help support long-term eye health. Leafy greens, eggs, colorful vegetables. These simple foods provide nutrients your eyes depend on every day. And while vision is important, the next habit may have an even bigger impact on your future, because it affects the organ many seniors fear losing the most: the brain. Number 3, sleeping too much and depending on sleep aids. Most people believe more sleep is always better, but what researchers have discovered may surprise you. Number 3, sleeping too much and depending on sleep aids. Most people have heard the same advice for years: get more sleep. And yes, quality sleep is one of the most important things you can do for your health. But there is a difference between restorative sleep and simply spending more time in bed. Many seniors believe that if they feel tired, the solution is to sleep longer, 9 hours, 10 hours, sometimes even more. The problem is that longer sleep isn't always better sleep. In fact, excessive sleep can sometimes be a warning sign that the body isn't getting the deep, restorative sleep it actually needs. Think about it this way. If you spend 10 hours in bed but wake up tired, groggy, and unfocused, the issue probably isn't a lack of sleep. The issue is sleep quality. During deep sleep, your brain performs some of its most important maintenance work. Researchers often describe this as the brain's cleanup process. It's during these deeper stages that the brain clears waste products that accumulate throughout the day. When sleep becomes fragmented or shallow, that process becomes less efficient, and over time, that can affect memory, concentration, and overall cognitive function. There's another concern many older adults never think about: sleep medications. Especially over-the-counter products taken night after night. Many people start using them occasionally, then a few times a week, then every night. Before long, years have passed. One woman in her late 70s told me she had been taking a sleep aid for so long that she couldn't imagine sleeping without it. Yet she still woke up exhausted every morning. When she eventually improved her sleep routine and reduced her dependence on the medication under medical guidance, something remarkable happened. Her energy improved, her focus improved, and the mental fog she had accepted as normal aging began to fade. The lesson is simple. Don't just focus on sleeping longer, focus on sleeping better. Keep a consistent bedtime. Wake up at the same time each day. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Limit screen time before bed. And whenever possible, work with your healthcare provider to address the cause of poor sleep instead of relying solely on medication. Now let's move to a habit that affects nearly every organ in the body, and the dangerous part is that most people don't even realize it's happening. Number 2, drinking less water because you don't feel thirsty. This may be one of the most overlooked health problems among adults over 60, and it often hides in plain sight. Number 2, drinking less water because you don't feel thirsty. This may be one of the most overlooked health problems among adults over 60, and what makes it so dangerous is how easy it is to miss. When you're younger, thirst is a reliable signal. Your body needs water, you feel thirsty, you drink. Simple. But as we age, that system becomes less reliable. The part of the brain responsible for regulating thirst gradually becomes less sensitive. That means you can be mildly dehydrated and not feel thirsty at all. And that's where the trouble begins. Because dehydration doesn't always show up as extreme thirst. More often it appears as symptoms people blame on aging: low energy, brain fog, dry skin, constipation, headaches, dizziness, poor concentration. Many seniors assume these are just normal parts of getting older. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes the body simply needs more fluid. Studies have found that a surprisingly high percentage of adults over 70 live with chronic mild dehydration, and many have no idea it's happening. Even a small drop in hydration can affect memory, reaction time, mood, and overall physical performance. Your brain depends on water, your joints depend on water, your muscles depend on water. Even your eyes rely on proper hydration to function comfortably. And after 70, the kidneys become less efficient at conserving water, which means staying hydrated becomes even more important. The solution isn't complicated. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Make hydration part of your routine. Keep a water bottle nearby. Take small sips throughout the day. Eat foods with high water content like cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, and leafy greens. And pay attention to the subtle signs your body may be sending, because sometimes what feels like aging is actually dehydration. And now we've reached the final habit, the one I mentioned at the very beginning, the habit millions of older adults do every single morning without even thinking about it. And once you understand what it may be doing to your body, you might never start your day the same way again. Number 1, sitting down immediately after waking up. Most people wake up and do exactly the same thing. They grab a cup of coffee, turn on the television, sit in their favorite chair, and stay there for the next 30 to 60 minutes. It feels harmless. It feels relaxing. But what happens during that first hour after waking is more important than most people realize. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. Number 1, sitting down immediately after waking up. Most people never question their morning routine. They wake up, make coffee, sit in a chair, turn on the television, read the news, and before they know it, an hour has passed. It feels harmless. After all, you've earned the right to take life a little slower. But here's what many people don't realize. The first hour after waking is one of the most important periods of the entire day. When you wake up, your body naturally releases a surge of hormones designed to prepare you for activity. Your circulation increases. Your brain becomes more alert. Your muscles become more responsive. Your metabolism starts gearing up for the day ahead. It's your body's way of saying, let's get moving. But when you immediately sit down and stay inactive, you miss an opportunity that your body was specifically designed to use. Researchers have found that older adults who move early in the day tend to have better energy levels, improved mobility, healthier metabolism, and better long-term physical function, compared with those who remain sedentary for long periods after waking. The good news? You don't need a gym, you don't need a workout program, and you certainly don't need to run a marathon. Even gentle movement can make a difference. A short walk around the block, a few minutes of stretching, standing exercises, light movement in the backyard, anything that gets the body moving. One retired gentleman in his late 70s had spent years starting every day the same way: coffee, recliner, television, for nearly an hour. He constantly complained about low energy and morning stiffness. Eventually, he made one simple change. For 3 weeks, he took a 10-minute walk outside shortly after waking. Nothing intense, just a slow walk. That's it. A few weeks later, he noticed something surprising. His joints felt less stiff. His energy improved, his mornings became easier, and he felt more motivated throughout the day. There was another benefit too: natural sunlight. Morning light helps regulate your body's internal clock. It supports healthy sleep later that night. It improves alertness during the day, and it may even help support mood and emotional well-being. That's why one of the simplest healthy aging habits is also one of the most powerful. Wake up. Move your body, get some natural light, and let your day begin with action instead of inactivity. Now let's bring everything together. Today we've covered 7 habits that quietly speed up decline after 60. Eating oversized meals, taking long hot showers, avoiding strength training, neglecting visual health, oversleeping and relying on sleep aids, chronic dehydration, sitting immediately after waking. The good news is that none of these habits require expensive treatments to improve. No special equipment, no miracle supplements, no complicated programs, just small daily decisions repeated consistently. Because healthy aging isn't about perfection, it's about momentum. One better choice today, another tomorrow, and another next week. The people who stay active, independent, and mentally sharp into their 70s, 80s, and beyond are often not the people with perfect genetics. They're the people who consistently give their bodies what they need. So here's my question for you. Which of these 7 habits surprised you the most? And which one are you going to work on first? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, share it with a friend or family member who might benefit from hearing it. And remember, getting older is inevitable. Declining faster than necessary is not. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.